Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last week we learned the IRS, the most powerful and intimidating federal agency in existence, and the agency now working to monitor our health care, has lost over 2 years of emails from at least 6 employees. In a masterstroke of unluckiness, the IRS claims that the only computer systems impacted are those belonging to top senior officials connected to the targeting of Americans who held conservative political beliefs. Beliefs like the notion that the First Amendment should always be protected in order to have a lasting, free democracy. Nothing is ever this convenient. Mr. Speaker, are we to believe the same entity that can turn the lives of Americans upside down can demand 7 years of financial and personal records just lost, 2 years of data from its own employees? Mr. Speaker, what would happen to your constituents, my constituents, or any of our constituents, Democrats, Republicans, or Independents, if they were investigated by the IRS and lost 2 years of data? Do you think the IRS would simply say, well, that's okay. I am sure it was an accident. These things happen. We will drop our investigation now. Of course not. And yet, that is what the IRS is telling Congress. Oh, sorry, we lost our data. Oh, well, let's move on. Mr. Speaker, how can we as representatives tell our constituents to cooperate with an entity that refuses to cooperate with Congress? How can I tell my constituents to hand over personal information about their lives to the IRS when the IRS won't do the same? I will conclude with a simple question to my friends across the aisle. Have you no shame? Your entire political outlook is based on the idea that government can work in an unbiased and effective way. Yet, when it becomes fairly clear that something isn't quite proper at the most powerful agency in the United States, you simply obscure the investigation instead of joining us in a call for a special prosecutor. When it becomes clear that ordinary citizens engaging in their natural rights were targeted by a major officer at the IRS, and when that official tries to take the Fifth Amendment to put up roadblocks to an investigation, you simply play politics. You're worried about poll numbers in the Republic. I recently asked the current IRS commissioner whether or not he believed that IRS workers could remain objective towards a group of American citizens who believe that the IRS should be disbanded. He was confounded by the question before answering that they were professionals. I have no doubt that the people at the IRS are professionals. The way they attacked conservative groups could only have been done by professionals. Let me open my question to all of my friends from across the aisle. As members of the party of government, do you believe that any person can sustain objectivity towards someone that they perceive as a threat to their livelihood? If you believe the answer is yes, then join me in calling for a special prosecutor to help us find the truth. Prove your beliefs with action. Defend your ideas that government can be involved in most aspects of our lives by proving that nothing criminal happened at the IRS. Show the American people that bureaucrats can remain objective in the face of someone telling them that their job shouldn't exist. Mr. Speaker, our number one job here in Congress is to protect the rights of the people, not take them away. It's time for everyone in this chamber to remember that. And with that, thank you, Mr. Speaker, I yield back. Thank you.
The gentleman yields back.